Thank you, Madam Chair. We're kicking off now what will be the fifth consecutive two-year reauthorization of the Water Resources Development Act. This was initiated by my predecessor and friend, Bill Schuster, after many years of erratic reauthorizations and long lapses many times. And I want to thank those who were key in this legislation last year. My ranking member, Sam Graves, the chair, Grace Napolitano, and former subcommittee ranking member, Bruce Resterman. And I know now that Dave Rouser is going to be a great partner, and we're going to get the fifth one in a row done. The last year authorized the construction of all 46 pending reports. Of course, the Corps does have a substantial backlog and needs additional funding, and that's something to be discussed as we move forward. Regular enactment of WRDA sends a signal of predictability, both to the Corps and to non-federal sponsors, that we can and will, even in a bitterly divided Congress, on a bipartisan basis, authorize water resources development projects in a transparent and efficient manner, and hopefully address local challenges, as a number of which the ranking member mentioned regarding his state. It also was a finalization of something that I started working on not with Bill Schuster, but with Bud Schuster, his dad, who chaired this committee in the 90s, and that was unlocking the Harbor Maintenance Trust Fund. This was a long struggle, twice in the minority. When Bill was moving the bill, I got this committee to unanimously support unlocking the Harbor Maintenance Trust Fund, but twice Speaker Ryan had the Rules Committee pull it out of the bill. Luckily, last year, Speaker Pelosi was totally in concert with unlocking the Harbor Maintenance Trust Fund, and we finally got it done. And this year, I expect the Corps has told us that they have the capacity to fully obligate $2 billion. That'll be the largest one-year expenditure that I can remember for the backlog of needed harbor maintenance around the country. And then I want to thank again my ranking member, Sam Graves, for joining me in a letter earlier this year to the Biden administration to say, please, in your budget, fully utilize these funds. And I'm hopeful that we will see that reflected in the near future. It also gave some recognition to Inland Waterways, which were also mentioned by the ranking member. I've visited some that were in Connor Lamb's district that actually were built in the 18th or the 19th century, the 19th century, the end of the 19th century. We had some great engineers back then, but these things have a life limit, and we're losing and have potential to lose critical inland navigation of the most efficient way to move freight, which is on water. We've got to maintain this fabulous system that we inherited, from the very early days, actually, of the Republic. We gave the Corps some new direction that they build and rebuild resilient to climate change effects. That'll be sea level rise, severe weather events, and other issues that we know are going to arise with more frequency over the coming years, and also that the needs of economically disadvantaged minority, rural, and tribal communities are better addressed. There are times where the Corps has not recognized tribes as sovereign nations with whom they have to have meaningful dialogue before moving forward with projects which impact them. And then it also directs the Corps finally to implement changes to planning guidance that Congress established in 2007. It's 14 years. I think we can get that done. The changes and principles we put in will maximize sustainable development, protect and restore the functions of natural systems, and affordably address the needs of economically disadvantaged rural, small, and tribal communities. And it fully integrates resiliency into the Corps' planning and design process to help our communities meet the future challenges of changing hydrologic conditions, repetitive and more frequent flooding events. And 2020 bill also assured that all communities, especially communities with socioeconomic challenges, have a path forward in getting the tools they need for flood protection ecosystem legislation. And it finally directs the Corps to update its policies related to environmental justice and to ensure water resources development projects can help to ameliorate disproportionate and adverse health and environmental impacts on low-income minority communities and Indian tribes. So, Madam Chair, I thank you for holding this hearing today and kicking off what I fully expect to be the 5th consecutive, successful, bipartisan reauthorization of water resources, and heck, who knows, maybe even the Senate will be able to pass it this time without having to put it into a year-end budget deal. And I also, if you just give me license, I just want to say that it's good to see our first witness here today, Matt Strickler. Matt was a key member of my staff when I was the ranking member on the Resources Committee a number of years ago, and I congratulate him on the position he has adopted and look forward to his testimony. With that, I yield back to balance my time.
Thank you, Mr. DeFazio, and I couldn't agree with you more.